As a former Rockette, we are so excited about this. We see so many of the Christmas specials featuring those Rockettes and their talents. This is Amy Griffith. We've removed the coffee table. We're going to do a lesson coming up here, but we're going to talk about that journey for you. Welcome into First at 4.
Thanks for having me.
And how many years were you a Rockette?
I was with Radio City Rockettes for 3 seasons, and we say seasons because it's just at Christmas time.
Right,
So.
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
And then what were you doing before to lead up to that?
I started off dancing here in Erie at the age of 5, and watching actually the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was my first glimpse of the Rockettes. And ever since I saw the parade, I knew I wanted to be a Rockette.
That's what you wanted to do.
So how did you make it happen?
Yeah.
Well, I went to school in Philadelphia, the University of the Arts, and trained there, continued my training there, moved to New York City after that, and I auditioned 4 times before finally being hired as a Rockette. So it shows, you know, the persistence and the dedication.
Yeah.
It sure does.
That fire that you have to have as a performer in New York City.
Yeah, so when you're going to these auditions, I mean, everybody is really talented, right? Everybody has probably danced since they were like 3, 4 years old, right?
Yeah, they're exceptional dancers,
Yeah.
and you oftentimes have to hope that there's a spot within the line that's your height that they're looking for.
Yes, because
So
it kind of graduates down, doesn't
yes,
it?
the tallest dancers are in the center of the line, and it gradually gets smaller towards the end. I was on the end at 6.
Oh my gosh.
I was actually 3rd from the end of the line, so
Yeah.
one of the shorter dancers. And if I stood next to a middle dancer, you could definitely tell the difference, but you can't when we're gradually
Yeah.
lined up. It's kind of an interesting
What's
trick.
one thing that most people at home would never imagine about the Rockettes? Perhaps their progression in getting ready for the shows, or give us a little behind the scenes snippet of information.
That's exactly it. I think that's one of the really interesting things about live theater is how much happens behind the scenes that you just don't know. There's a completely different show backstage, from the costume changes to the set design pieces moving. At Radio City, we have elevators that move the stage. There's a turntable that moves there. When I performed, there was a mirror that came down.
Oh my
and
gosh.
There's so many behind the scenes elements that are really exciting.
Yeah.
And sometimes we had a 90-second quick change in between numbers, and the choreography for the quick change is just as impressive, and it gets your excitement up.
Yeah,
Like, to
really.
make that
How
happen.
many Rockettes are there in one season, involved in one season?
There are 80 total.
Oh, wow.
36 in a line on stage at once with 4 swings, if you can figure out all that.
Yeah.
And the swings are off stage.
Yeah.
If anyone gets injured, even mid-show, they might have to be ready
Right.
at, you know, the drop of a dime.
Wow.
And there are 2 casts throughout the Christmas season. So there's a morning cast and an afternoon and evening cast.
Oh, that's
so
interesting.
That's how we're able to perform so many shows
Yeah.
throughout the Christmas
right.
season.
What was your process to go from one show to the next? Did you have to like ice or rest, or like, because it's hard on your body, all of that?
It is. It's very demanding. It's the most physically demanding show that I have done as a performer. And we had a whole physical therapy floor, essentially,
Wow.
for
Oh, gosh.
PT work. We had ice baths that we would all, you know, get into, whether it was our ankles or up to
Yeah.
our knees or
Yeah.
up to our hips or higher.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
terrific.
Thankfully, I only had to go up to the knees, but I was definitely dedicated on icing, taking care of my body, and there was a lot of, it's just very much an athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah. we're
All right,
running
well,
out of
let's do a
time.
lesson before we run out of time. You're going to teach us some poses. I'm glad I wore pants today.
Yeah.
And an easy kick.
Yes. So classic Rockette pose is a bevel, and that is bringing your toe to toe, and you draw your knee across.
Okay.
So toe to toe, draw your knee across, and you can have your hands on your hips.
Okay.
And these are like blade fingers, so you keep your fingertips together.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
ladies, looking good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think we're in a good height formation too.
Yes.
Really great.
Yeah.
So our strut kick,
Okay.
we do our famous eye high kicks. We won't do those today, gals. But eye high kicks go up to just our eye height. That's it. It's not kicking, you know, higher than that. And that is also how we keep everything as precise as possible.
wow.
But our strut kick is from our bevel. We bring the toe to the knee, passe across the body, extend it out, hip height, bring it back, and step it down. And switch sides. So find your bevel on the other side. Beautiful. your toe to your knee for passe, extend.
Oh my gosh,
Bring
we
it
have
back
a future
and
here,
down.
ladies.
Great job.
Thank you, Amy. And a little bit about Amy now. You are a mother, you are a yoga instructor. Prenatal yoga is one of your passions. Yoga Erie, there's some of the information if you ever want to take one of her classes. And you're also doing some work at Erie Day School.
Yes, I continue dancing and moving, you know, like you said, at Yoga Erie and at Erie Day, I get to teach creative movement for the children, and I also get to choreograph their productions there. So it continues to fulfill that element of performing within
Thanks for
myself.
coming in and sharing some of the secrets of the Radio City
She's
Music Hall
also my
Rockettes.
running buddy.
We do get to run together, yeah.
She's so sweet. Thanks for coming on and
Thank you,
sharing
ladies.
some of
Well
that.
done.
You two, you're great. You're
You
great.
too.
We'll
Well
be right
done.
back.